meeting to order. Everyone can please rise for the pledge of allegiance. It is 5:31. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Juan Castillo, President. Lorena Delgadillo, Clerk.
Present.
Christina Clark, Member.
Present.
Laura Torres, Member.
Present.
Luisa Ariola, Member. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Are there any comments from the audience?
No, we do not.
Okay, thank you. We're going to move on to 3.1, Martin Velasco, Director of Facilities.
Good afternoon. Can I just give a little bit of a brief? I had asked Mr. Velasco, you can go ahead and step to the microphone. I had asked Mr. Velasco to come and give us a small presentation of the projects that we have been able to accomplish this year.
Members, good afternoon, Mr. Neron, Ms. Quince, and colleagues. Today's presentation is a brief report of facilities maintenance projects that have taken place during school year 24-25. Now, please note, this is just a review of some of these projects. In addition, we still attend to overall daily maintenance operations of facilities across the district, to include support staff locations as well, as we support pretty much everyone across the district. Not sure if you have any questions in reference.
I just have a question. So Vision for your next big project like the SMS.
Yeah, I did a couple of projects prior to SMS roofing project, but this one really, it really made me work. It really, I worked so hard, but in the end, it's a good feeling because you see the end product, you see your project coming to fruition, and it just gives you that energy to continue making progress. The next one will be Orange Grove Elementary. We're looking at, I've completed the assessment on the roof. There's currently design currently going on right now. We also have, we just completed, it's also on the list. We just completed a turnkey fire alarm system for Orange Grove. If you can think of this, we have a circa 1985 system in place. Throughout the years, we managed, and we were able to successfully apply for a grant. It's a lot of work, a lot of documentation, a lot of legwork that takes place. But again, I'm trying to focus on those projects that really need our attention.
Priorities, yeah.
We're working down the line, and for me, it's roofing right now because roofing pretty much protects everything down below. It's basically it protects the buildings to begin with. It protects classrooms down below, computers, computer devices, textbooks, pretty much everything down below. And so for me, I'm working on Orange Grove roofing. Next is going to be Desert Sonora as well as Tierra del Sol, which are some of those older facilities that we have an eye already for those projects. We're currently doing everything to get those submitted under building renewal grants projects. So there's many projects to come, and I'm getting the support that I need. As far as everything that I need is being provided to me, so I can again continue to make traction on these projects. And Somerton Middle School project is just shy of $6 million. Just think about it, $6 million. That's a lot of money, And
Wow.
and not only that, but it also supports the district's overall performance. I mean, you don't want to go to work to a leaking classroom. You don't want to go to work to just anything that you can think of in case of a rain event that, we worked for several years. We worked under duress and under, hard circumstances, but we were able to finally, get that project completed. And again, that's the final walkthrough will be next week. And the architects will be here, and pretty much all the professional services that were part of that project are going to also be part of that walkthrough.
Okay. Well, I really want to thank you for your hard work and your staff.
Thank you.
I live behind the middle school, and so I saw it every day, and thank you so much for all that you do, Martin, and your staff. Are you fully staffed?
We are fully staffed, and I'd just like to add, over the years, Somerton is home, and Somerton is giving me the opportunity for growth advancement, and this is just paying it forward.
Of course.
And anything that I can do, anything that we can do as a department, to support the school and everyone across the district, hey, we're doing it, and we're happy to do it.
Great. Well, thank you so much. And I would like to see, if it's an expenditure, like you said, of a $6 million, I think it's important for our community to know.
Yeah.
Not only because they see all the machinery out there
Right.
and the work, but I think the community needs to know how much money it costs.
Right.
And even though it's not taxpayer dollars in Somerton, but it is part of the school's facility board, and so that's the grant
Correct.
that the school and you have worked really hard, the district and you have worked really hard to obtain. I would like to see it on our, sort of like a slideshow or a
Sure.
presentation, something on social media where it's being highlighted, because
Right.
it should be highlighted.
Right,
And also for the community to know.
right.
SMS does a great job of highlighting a lot of their stuff, and I think that's one of the great things that is happening in our community through through SMS. And so, I think it should, in my opinion, be highlighted on their page, and
I agree,
and
yeah.
so people can see,
Right,
our community, that where it's not only all about academics, which, is a huge part,
Yeah.
but it also is because this is the home of our students, and they spend most of their day here, and so, at their school, so.
and also to note that we're doing everything we can within our means, and then not only that, but reaching out to other entities across the state
Right.
Yeah.
for, because part of the responsibility of the State Facilities Board is to meet minimum requirements. So whenever I do my analysis, I always try to focus on that and tell a story and have justification that I can tell, because it's a selling point. Hey, look, come on down. Let me
Yeah.
show you the worst. Let me show you the good, but also let me show you the worst. And you gotta make time for Somerton. You gotta be here. I like to take you around, and I like to show you what we currently, for those areas that are in dire need of funding for those renewal grants.
Right.
Hey, I like to show you. And
Yeah.
this is me talking to my liaison. It's just, but again, and it's about also building that rapport with
Right.
your liaison to establish a good rapport, because if you're constantly butting heads, you're not gonna get things.
It's easier for that project too.
It's about how can I do my job better and bring in those funding dollars, but also, again, just building that bridge, just building that rapport, and because I tell you, at the beginning, it wasn't easy, and it's still not, but I mean, I feel more, it's just like day and night from when I started to now. It's like, whoa. And again, that just gives you more confidence and the want to do more. Hey, I've done it. I can bring in more. So again, I've had the support of the district administration.
Yeah.
I work closely with Laura as well, because that's a big piece. That's a big piece too, finance. But we're coming along, and good things are happening again in Somerton.
Great, thank you so much for everything you do.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Martin.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
We're gonna continue on with 4.1, Mr. Duran.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I think my mic is really high, but thank you for everyone for being here. I know that we're at the start of some vacations, so some of our principals obviously are on vacation, and some of our directors, but thank you for those of you who are here. I do have a couple of things to share. As you know, our system board docs will be changing to Diligent Community. It's something that we've been prepping for the past few months. It has been finalized that that's going to be the move. It is basically the same as board docs, but upgraded to some extent. It will go live on July 1st, so it really gives us the opportunity, July being a month where we don't have an official board meeting, to get acquainted with the new system and figure out some of those training days, so that we can, set those out for all of us that need to really understand the new program. Again, when we were up in Atlanta, we met with a couple of representatives of the new system, and they were really excited to share that it is very, very easy and manageable, and so it won't be something that is completely new to us, but it's definitely going to have more perks to it. Antonio's also working on figuring out if the live stream software that we have is the most apt to continue on. Even if it's not, we will definitely look into getting something better for that. We also, on another note, obviously, Ms. Torres, she officially submitted her letter stating that she will step down as a board member. We still have her until the end of June, so we still get to have Ms. Torres today, and also we have a mid-June meeting, and I know that she will be also here. We will say our proper farewells then. To now, we definitely just have to say, the great things that you were able to do for our district. And so, again, wait until mid-June to have our proper goodbyes. But I needed to share officially that that's the process. We've been working with Tom Hurt to initiate what would look like the process to see who's going to be seeking out that particular term. And yes, we are sad about it. Last week, Ms. Hay and I attended 2 conferences, so it was a busy week. We were in Leading Change. It was a great opportunity to just be with, not only with each other, but we had our principals and our instructional strategists up there. Not only was it a great opportunity to collaborate together as a leadership, as a district, but also the sessions that we attended were pretty amazing. I mean, some of you guys were there. There were sessions on writing. There were sessions on creating leadership teams. There was a lot of sessions on just refreshing and re-energizing what we currently have in our district. And then we ended our week in Flagstaff with the ASBA conference, where we joined Ms. Clark and Mr. Castillo also for a couple of days of great learning, great opportunities to continue to build that strong partnership between the board and the district. So that was pretty amazing. Today we met with Mr. Munoz to plan out the ribbon cutting of the new expansion, so that'll be in July 28th. I will be giving you additional information about it. It's basically the day before we start school. So we told Mr. Munoz, Mr. Munoz, if you can accommodate us during your open house, that'd be awesome. He got really excited, and so we thought that would be a great opportunity to do our reveal, I guess. And so again, more information will come to you guys. And before I'm done, there's a lot of activities happening in the summer. For us, summer is not a slow season. For us, it's busy. And so we're really excited because we will be having the Data Summit, where we get a chance to meet with all our principals and teams. But we also have a 3-day conference-style training. And I think I've previewed you to some information in some of my reports, but it's getting closer and it's getting really exciting. And so I'm going to send you guys again the dates, and hopefully you get a chance to be at least there in the very beginning, so that I get a chance to introduce you, and obviously so that you get a chance to see the greatness of it all. All right. Any questions?
Any questions? Do you guys have any questions? I just have a comment, Mr. Ron. I really want to congratulate you and Ms. Day for, recently I've seen a lot of the traveling and the training that leadership has gone, even the strategists and teachers, and I don't think I've seen that in my years that I've been here. And so I know that some principals would go and administration, but now that I see, especially that one where all of you went together, that was amazing. And sometimes it's good to go out and learn, and I know we don't have all that money to send everyone or go all the time, but we need to try our best to send, people, and especially our principals, our assistant principals, and our strategists there, and a couple of teachers as well, because, our goal is to grow our own. And so, in the future, hopefully, our goal is for someone to replace you, right? And to replace
That's
him,
the
and
goal.
to replace the principals, the teachers themselves as they grow. And in order for them to grow is to have that background knowledge and to have that growth. And so, not that we want you to go anywhere.
No, but it's building capacity
but
in
it,
future leaders. Yeah.
Yes, and I think we want to give that that perception to the community and to all schools in Yuma County that, our goal is for our teachers and our admin to grow and to be our future superintendents, or to be our future principals, and not that they're stuck to be a teacher forever because there's no potential growth there. I want them to see that there is growth. So I thank you and I congratulate you guys for especially Laura too, for finding all that money and letting them, to go but save money.
She's been good at and that brings me to, we will be going to the National Institute for Excellence in Teaching conference in 2 weeks. We're taking a small group because of funding, but it's a very important conference for us to attend, as we are currently building some of those structures to ensure that we provide that leadership follow through to everyone within our schools and obviously within our leadership team. So that's going to be coming up pretty soon.
And also, if you could really entertain that idea on sending, teachers that have
Sure.
been here for many years that, they need something like
Yes.
that. I just, in my opinion, I feel they do, and just so they can go out and see what other schools and other teachers are doing at their, get other ideas as well, not just only the principals will go in and come back.
Absolutely.
That's just my opinion.
Thank you.
4.2, Ms.
All right, good evening, everyone. I just wanted to share, we have the first ever annual Stuff the Backpack Fair. It's being put on by our Somerton Rotary that Mr. Duran and I are both part of. And so I'm the chairperson for this one. They wanted to do, a supply run, kind of like what is done in Yuma County and so forth. And as we were talking, we thought, we get a lot of donations for backpacks, which is great. And some of them come with some supplies in them, but, minimal. And so we brainstormed that it would be really great to have just the supplies. So if they already had their favorite backpack, and there will be some there as well, but they'll be able to stuff it with all of the supplies that we need for our schools, for our kids. And so this is really exclusive to our Somerton students. They really want it to be Somerton based. So we're going to have a fair, though. We were going to make it a community event. So we're asking for sponsors. And so anybody can help us with getting some sponsorships. And then they'll be able to have a booth, advertise, and also give out materials that we'll buy. So we collected all the supply lists from all the schools, and we picked like the top 16 items that are common across the schools. So we could have, there's the notebook table, there's the crayon table, there's the highlighter table, and then the kids can go around kind of like a center style and get everything and visit the booths. And so we already have quite a few vendors or agencies who want to come. I know our adult education will be there. Migrant education will be there. We already had the Girl Scouts who called already the word's out, so they want to come and have a booth and kind of share their information, but also be sponsors and that kind of thing. So that's exciting. That'll be on July 26th. We targeted it after the Yuma County has theirs, I believe, 2 weekends prior. And then our students can all come and also get their list from, we want to have for each of the schools, their supply list there. And then that way they can pick it up, and if they forgot what they need, and then they can go around to the tables and also visit everything. So that'll be from 9 to 1 at Tierra del Sol Elementary. I've also invited our law enforcement, and we're reaching out to all of our local businesses to support us. And that way our students can hopefully walk away with a backpack so full that their parents have to help them haul it out. But that'll give them supplies to last a while. So that's something new. It'll be our first annual with the Somerton Rotary and Somerton School District. Another thing that you'll see on the agenda too is the AI policy that's coming up. That's been a collective effort that we've had administration kind of look it over earlier in the year. We've had our technology director, instructional services, everyone's kind of perused it and put in some input. And then we had ASBA look it over and ensure that, it follows what it needs to follow. And so as you look at that later, it's on the agenda to review and to approve, hopefully. That also has a student agreement that is for AI, and then that goes along with the technology agreement that we have for students. And that's okay, Jason, you don't need to find it. They'll get to it later. But that is, that's what's up there. So that'll be able to be implemented this coming year. But the policy, just to kind of give a brief, the policy is not only about students and what they need to do, but also about teachers. And that's also going to be taught in our 3-day conference with the teachers. So there's a session in there that one of our lead teachers who's gone to a lot of AI kinds of technology, we've asked her to be part of that. So she's working with Mrs. Fernandez to give a session there. So that'll be nice to have things all coordinated. And then we plan to continue that effort and really ensure that we're using it properly, that it's not a cheating tool, that everyone is knowing how to use it appropriately to enhance their learning, and for everyone, for staff and students.
So, and we're excited getting prepped, like Mr. Duran said, for Data Summit and the conference, and it'll be a fun summer, fun start to the year. And we're prepping our guests too for the welcome back.
Part two.
Can't wait for that.
Part two.
Any questions for Ms. Lee? I have a comment. Thank you, Ms. A. and Ms. Udon for that idea with the Somerton Rotary, and thank you for heading that. That's such a really cool thing to do. Just a suggestion, if you can include the city of Somerton.
Yeah.
Maybe they can help, put it on our website as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah, I
To
think
reach
Louis
it
is
out
gonna
to
help
them.
us with that part.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that would be a great idea to do. That's all I have. Thank you so much for that. Moving on, board member reports. We'll begin with Ms. Torres.
All right, we can start with me. So as you all heard, I submitted my letter of resignation. Very begrudgingly. I didn't want to do it. I want to stay. This is home for me. And I'm not good with goodbyes. So I'm just really grateful for the time that I've had here. My family and I are moving out of state. And so we'll be moving in July. And so hopefully, that gives somebody that's interested in this position, if you all know of somebody, in this district or in La Efe, because that's also our, turf, definitely encourage people to seek out this opportunity. It's been a great learning opportunity for me. I got to graduate from college while being a part of this, and I feel like that was, it just aligned well with my program degree and just being able to learn more about public education and its significance and the history of it, and the documentation that you were talking about earlier, Mr. Velasco. I want to see some before and after pictures too to document that history of all of the different upgrades and just the history of Somerton District, but of public education as a whole. I've fallen in love with learning and with school, so I'm going to continue to go to school. And, when I am in Utah, I hope to also, bloom where I'm planted there. I'm going to continue to serve and hopefully, help with PTLs or PTOs or whatever they're called there. And, but I'll definitely stay involved with my kids' schools, and I'll be stopping by to visit. I'll still continue my work at Campesino, so I'll get to be a part of the community to an extent. So just grateful for all of you and the work that you've done. Somerton District is such a special place, and definitely sad to go. But I'm glad I got to experience that first promotion at the park with the middle school. That was so cool, and so thank you, to the SMS team for that, and all the work that you guys are doing as well, Ms. A, Mr. Leron. Again, I can probably say more at the next meeting, but not good with goodbyes. There will be tears. I cry anyway. You guys know that. So, but no, that's it for me. But thank you all.
Well, Ms. Torres, I just want to let you know, I know it's not goodbye because, we're friends in and out of the board here, but it's been the utmost pleasure to serve alongside you and learn together and grow together, and it just reminds us why we're here serving our community as best we can, right? But thank you for everything you do. I'm going to miss your wise words of inspiration and your quotes at the very end of, your speeches. But that pulls me into, we did go to the ASBA meeting in Flagstaff, and it's a reminder of why connections are so important, because you get to, not only connect with the ASBA staff and ask those important questions that we have lingering in our minds, or making those connections with people from around the state, revisiting friends we may have met in, other conferences and whatnot. But I truly appreciate, I always appreciate, the fact that I'm able to attend those conferences on behalf of the Somerton School District. But yeah, those conferences have brought a lot of us together to get to know each other and to collaborate. So that's all I have, but thank you.
Well, I'm not good with goodbyes either, but I'll wait for the next meeting. But just a simple, really quick, you're a beautiful person, inside and out, Lauren. You know, I appreciate your hard work and your dedication to our district and our community.
Yeah.
You've done wonders for our kids, and just your vision and the love that you portray and you give day in and day out. It's very appreciated, and thank you for all that you do, and best of luck. And you know, we're on YouTube, you can tune in.
Yes,
guys.
I'll be tuning
Be
in.
one of our viewers.
Text us and say, hey, don't
I
forget to
will.
mention this. And, we're just a text away, but it is a great move. Sometimes change is not comfortable, but if you embrace it with love and embrace it with hope, I think it's the best thing for you and your family. And so with an open mind and an open heart, you're going to do wonders. So thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.
For me, SMS promotion, as Ms. Torres said, you know, first time there, and I'm glad I was there, and it was beautiful, and it kind of threw me off guard on the handing out of the, you know, the little promotions and stuff, because there are some students that I wanted to and I didn't get to see them, and you know, I'm trying to turn around both ways, but I see the vision and I saw the purpose, and I just felt it went a little too fast. But other than that, I mean, it was great, beautiful. You guys did an amazing job. Well done. The community, at first when it was published, and I sent Omar a quick text, I was like, my phone is blowing up. What do you mean at the park? And so, you know, after I spoke to him, I would respond and said, you know, give them the opportunity, just watch. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Give them a chance. And it was great. You know, the reports and the community at first was kind of lost, but then after they went through it, I think the responses were great. You know, I spoke to the city chief of police, and
It was so good.
she also was like, you know, this is the best idea you guys had. You know, they knew where we were. They were able to coordinate and assist. And so on behalf of the chief of police, she wants me to congratulate you, the SMS staff, and of course administration for having our promotion there. And I would like to continue it. You know, I had first said, please don't do it at the high school, please. You know, I'm gonna vote no when it, but the park was an amazing idea, and so great job, you guys, great job.
It's good.
For student achievement that we had with the city of Somerton, I don't know if there was some sort of a disconnect or what happened. Maybe there was a loss in communication, or we did acknowledge some of the SMS students, to be acknowledged for the student achievement. So what the city of Somerton is doing every year is we highlight those high achievers and sportsmen that, you know, went to state and so forth, and I know that there was some missing. So I'm not sure, and it's not only through SMS, but also through elementary, you know, like the stars that went to state for the robotics, and I think those things need to be highlighted as well. And so I don't know how the email got to principals or to you or who it went to, but I did mention for them to meet with both of you when that time comes again next year, in order to highlight those students, because it's a big deal.
Absolutely.
And the kids, when they came up to get their certificate from the city, from us, and their little gift and pictures and stuff, and you know, it was pretty cool.
It's
It was
exciting.
pretty cool to see that. And so if you could work with the city of Somerton
Absolutely.
for those student achievement, no matter what part, you know, chess club and you know, whatever clubs that we have, they need to be highlighted.
course.
And also, parents have that opportunity to purchase those banners for $50 and it'll be
Awesome.
highlighted for 2 months on Main Street. You know, how cool is that to
That is
see
cool.
my son or daughter on Main Street, you know, the banner. I know it costs $50, but, you know, maybe the parents weren't aware, and it's just, you know, just the communication. But I think that, with the years, I know it's gonna get better. So I
course.
told them to work with you guys,
Yeah.
so we can highlight that as well.
Of course, thank you.
Thank you so much. Moving on. Let's see, let's turn that on. Let's go to consent agenda. Is there anything on the consent agenda that the board would like to remove and discuss before we approve or deny? Well, okay, that's motion, please?
So move.
A motion was made by Ms. Clark to approve the consent agenda,
Second.
second by Ms. Torres. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Let's move on to 7.1, approval of proposed fiscal year 25-26 budget.
Hi, good evening. So this is the proposed budget for FY '26. Would you have a presentation now? So the numbers that we are working with, you can see for M&O and the capital, those are the amounts that we anticipate for next year. We haven't gotten approval from the state yet, from the state legislature, so these are just, these are just to propose that eventually will change once it goes to the legislature. So we're using the same base level support amounts, the 5,013, that's our current year base level support from the state. And then the district additional assistance, which is our capital, that doesn't change and it won't change. They're not proposing any increases for that. So those are the numbers that we are working with. So again, once they approve it, we'll have to do a revision and we will capture the new amounts. They are proposing a 2% increase to our base level support for M&O. And so if that gets approved, our new base support level will be $5,113 per student, which is about $100 extra. And then again, there's no change. We don't see a change being proposed for our district additional assistance. The numbers that we're basing it off of, this is our proposed ADM. Current year, we always use the current year because we don't know what the next year is gonna look like. We always, throughout the year, are able to capture if we have growth, then we capture that growth and we get that additional funding. But when we do the proposed budget, we just use the current year funding and the current year ADM. And so our unweighted ADM for the year, we're ending at 2,841. Any questions so far? So for the FY '26, that base level support, times our ADM, that's gonna give us a 22 million. And then for our estimated carryover expenses, that's roughly gonna be about 931,000. That's just estimated. We still have the encumbrance period to go through. So during the encumbrance period, we'll have additional expenses that we're closing out, and then we will be closing out POs, so we'll be able to have additional funding in there as well. So that'll offset each other. So the budget limit that we're gonna be working with is 23,070,000 for our M&O. For our DAA, our FY '26 allocation is 1.5. This amount doesn't necessarily change because our district additional assistance funding is always based off of previous year ADM. So even if we do see growth next year, we won't capture that growth for our capital budget until the following fiscal year. So that amount doesn't really change. We're anticipating carryover and interest of 1.3. So if we add that to our allocation, that'll give us a budget limit of 2.8 for next year. And then the next page just reflects our tax rates. Our primary assessed valuation increased from 116 million to 128. So our primary tax rate is 1.71. It is slightly down from last year, and that is because of our adjacent ways. Last year we asked for about 300,000 in adjacent ways money, and that was to fund our traffic light in San Luis. That was the additional we needed. And so when I get to the next page, we are gonna be asking for a little more adjacent ways, but it's not quite as much. So that's why we'll see a little dip in our primary tax rate. And so these are just the equalization base rates, and you'll see our adjacent ways that we're asking for this year is gonna be 94,490. And so that'll make our total tax rate the 1.7. Any questions? So just a little summary of our adjacent ways funding. We know that we have the traffic light in San Luis, and so we're working on finalizing that and paying it off. We did have the hammerhead that was
that came about this current year. We were set to pay that out of our capital money. But it did come to our attention that that particular area, the Hammerhead, it qualifies for adjacent ways. So we're actually able to use the current, we got it approved by the state, by the State Facilities Board. And so we're able to now use the money that we've collected from taxpayers. We're able to now use that for that Hammerhead, which is about $67,000. So that'll put money back in our pocket. And then that $94,000 that we're asking for, that will help fund the rest of the traffic lights, since we're still working on that. Any questions?
Didn't we have to have the traffic light before the open?
Yes, and we are pretty much on timeline. And Mr. Velasco, if you want to speak on it, but we actually met today to discuss, there was an additional cost in a particular light that needed to be installed, and that's been worked on. We should have the certificate of occupancy before, obviously, the start of the school year. We did give the green light to Mr. Munoz to start the enrollment process, because we're very confident that we are going to have those classes open. So.
Any questions?
No, I just hear money back in our pocket, and that's a great thing, so.
That's all I heard. Just
Yeah.
kidding. Just kidding. Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.
So much. So was this just a presentation, or do we have to?
You have to vote on this. This is the proposed, and then in the next board meeting, then we'll
do the
adopt.
final? Okay. Need a motion for the proposal of our budget.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Torres,
Second?
second by Ms. Clark. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. 7.2 approval, the reading of policy advisory number 876-905.
So the team and I review the policies. These policies are very business concentrated, and a lot of the recommendations are to delete policies with repetitive language and to consolidate them into more concise ones. And this is just for the first reading.
This is the first reading.
Yes.
Need a motion for approval of the first reading of the policy advisory 876-905.
So move?
Motion was made by Ms. Clark,
Second.
second was by Ms. Torres. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nobody opposes, motion carries. 7.3 approval of the AI policy and guidelines for fiscal year 26.
And the AI policy is what I kind of described in my opening. So we're just asking for approval of that policy so we can implement it this year.
Any motion?
So move?
Motion was made by Ms. Clark,
Second.
second by Ms. Torres. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. 7.4 approval to offer a contract to administrators for fiscal year 25-26.
And the recommended action is to approve contracts to administer as presented, and you have on file the list, which is only one name.
And who's that?
Can
The
I-
person.
Oh, it's Alma Gonzalez,
Yeah.
since she just got, yes.
I wasn't here last meeting, so I'm sorry.
No, you're
If you
good.
got introduced last meeting, but I
She
saw
did.
your picture, but I saw you at the start, I'm like, oh.
Yes.
Well, welcome to our district. I'm very happy you're here. I've heard great things.
Mhm.
I make a motion to approve contracts to administrators as presented.
Motion by Ms. Torres,
Second?
second by Ms. Clark. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. Welcome. 7.5, discussion and consideration and possible action to approve or deny the release of contract for certified teacher for fiscal year 25-26. Contract effective May 23rd, 25, which already passed.
Yeah.
And you have your exhibits listed for you to review. I just need a motion to release, which of course it already passed.
Make a motion to release contract for certified teacher.
A
As
motion was
presented.
made by Ms. Clark,
Second.
second by Mrs. Torres. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposes, motion carries. Let's move on to 7.6. Discussion and possible action to waive or fine 1% to the teacher for release fiscal year 25-26 contract of the one we just released. Again, you have executive content.
And the recommendation is to find the 1%.
Make a motion to find the 1% of the teacher's FY 25-26 contract.
Motion was made by Ms. Clark,
Second.
second by Ms. Torres. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Discussion, 7.7, discussion and consideration and possible action to approve or deny the release of contract of certified teacher for fiscal year 25-26, effective date May 23rd, 25, and this is the second one. And you also have executive contact for you to review.
Make a motion to approve the release of contract for certified teacher as presented.
Motion was made by Ms. Clark,
Second.
second by Ms. Torres. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Motion carries. 7.8, discussion and possible action to waive or fine 1% to teacher that was just released for fiscal year 25-26 contract.
And again, the motion is to find the 1%. The recommendation, sorry.
Need a motion, please?
Make a motion to find the 1% of the teacher's FY 25-26 contract.
Motion was made by Ms. Clark to fine,
Second.
second by Ms. Torres. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nobody opposes, motion carries. 8.1, any recommendations from the board for future agendas, please email Mr. Duron, S.A. and Mr. Castillo, and in order for us to put it on the agenda for next meeting. And 8.2, our regular board meeting is still scheduled for Tuesday, June 24th at 5:30 to approve the proposed budget. And it shouldn't be long, right? It's just a quick 10-minute meeting. Any questions, comments, or concerns? No?
So we, just on that, we're keeping it on the Tuesday for consistency. We had mentioned the possibility of the Wednesday, but we were good with the 10 days. Okay? All right.
Perfect, that's perfect. Thank you so much for your flexibility from
course.
yesterday to today.
Yes.
I really appreciate it.
No, thank you.
Motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Second by Ms. Torres. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion. 6:19.